in Brule, still along the north shore of Nova Scotia, and I have with me Bill Todd. Thank you so much for doing this, Bill. He's going to tell us a little bit about the community center and how it all came to be.
How far back do you want to go? There are fossils here. That's a few thousand years, but I suppose you want a more up-to-date account, do you?
Well, let's start with the building. The building that used to be the school,
Yes.
and used to be the community center,
Yes.
came around. It's next to
Okay,
this building.
yes, that school, well, the school was probably, I think that one was built, there was a fire at one point, around the turn of the century, 1900 or so.
Okay.
And so that's about how old that is.
Okay.
But it ran right up until the 60s for sure.
Well, this was originally the school,
That's the Brule School, yes.
and you said there was some fossils here as well?
Yeah, the fossils were in there. We're still looking for good use for this building. It's reasonably solid, needs a little bit of patching up, but it's expensive to paint and all the rest of it.
When the fossils were here,
Yes.
was it like a museum?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So people will come and they had somebody here showing them the fossils.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Taking all the things out. There's no electricity.
No electricity, that's all right.
But this was the original sort of foyer for the school, but they did this up for the museum.
Okay.
And there were 1, 2, 3, 4 each very big glass topped cases with all the fossils and stuff in it.
So, and where are the fossils now?
They are in the Calibration Creamery.
Okay,
So you can
but
see
you've
them
still
there.
got them there.
And that's a whole new story as well, because the guy that found the fossils down here just happened to be an amazing guy, and he virtually dug up all the fossils there and interested people in them. He got a grant from the National Geographic.
Wow.
He had people from Halifax up here doing it, and people from where was there was a couple here from professors from New Mexico. They were up here, and he sucked up all of this information he got from absolutely everybody he talked to. And so he was also an artist, he was also a carpenter, and so he built all these things, these cases and things.
Okay.
Yeah. And he also made models of the fossils. The fossils were just tracks, in actual fact.
Okay.
But there are people who can extrapolate the tracks and get
Wow.
what beasts they were.
Wow.
And so this guy had fantastic models
That's tremendous.
of these
Wow.
things.
Isn't that
Yeah.
great?
The Presbyterian Church in Tarnbush had ideas to have a children's camp, at least in the summer. And I think they had it sort of partially set up, at least maybe out New Island Way or someplace up in the mountains there. However, when I arrived here, one of the first things I saw when I was just out in the yard was this really great big house going by. And I discovered eventually that this was it. And so this was the Presbyterian Church's answer to having a camp, and they had this building as a dining hall, and they used the school for activities.
And it was called Holiday Ranch.
It was called Holiday Ranch, and the ranch involved, they had a bridge across the little river there, and this Samples Creek, by the way. On the other side there was a barn with the horses, and they had canoeing and all kinds of things. There were beaches up there as well.
Amazing.
And for probably 10, 12 years, the they ran this beautifully in the summer.
And you said there was like a motel for kids to stay in?
Well, that's the kind of building it was. I don't know what it was originally. No doubt we dragged it from someplace.
Incredible.
But it had a lot of kind of little rooms. Might have, you know, been a motel kind of thing at some point in time.
Wow.
But they had bunk beds in there, and they had, you know, 40 or 50 kids that ran around here all summer.
Wow. Isn't that amazing? So that went on for 10 to 12 years.
Yes.
And then for some reason
the minister who was sort of behind the throne there was transferred or were left the place, and of course the thing just didn't have enough impetus to keep itself going.
Shame.
And so it sort of just lay here. It was used occasionally, but basically for another 10 years it sort of just was left.
Okay.
And then eventually somebody, when was it, 74 was it, I said?
Yes.
About then, somebody came along and said, well, the church wants to get rid of this piece of land, and would you guys like to take it over and use it for the community somehow? And so we had a few meetings and started it off.
Fantastic.
So yeah, the most of the buildings, there was a minister's house down there, a cottage, and that was taken away anyway. But there was a chapel there, a log chapel. There was the sort of barracks kind of place, there were sleeping quarters. There was a little staff house there too. And did I mention the chapel?
Yeah.
The log chapel. All of these things were gradually falling down and rotting, and that's basically what we did for the first couple of years, is sort of, just take things down and cleared them around.
Because they weren't salvageable, probably.
Not really.
Yeah. Except for bathroom parts.
Yes, yes, exactly. We started in having, well, I think I was saying that we had corn boils along on my beach, in actual fact, along the road there for the first couple of years. But it was about then that we managed to actually move into the building, and card parties were the thing to have in those days. And so they used to have card parties every week, and they lasted probably 20 years before they sort of petered out.
Oh,
And so there was one, you wanted to talk about the toilets. We had one toilet which was pretty iffy in actual fact in this building, and of course we had all these people for the card parties, so I was kind of the odd job man to keep the toilet going on a Thursday night for the card party. And if we needed parts, we just took bits and pieces from the wash house there, from the toilets and the showers from behind the school.
Well, that works.
Yeah, well, it was kept going. But eventually, I suppose it would be, well, we've just kept on doing things. This room was sheathed, the roof, I think that's what was done, and put insulation in there. That would be about 10 years ago. And it's all been painted, and new windows and things put in. The kitchen there was pretty iffy too, and so we pretty well gutted it and made a nice new kitchen in there.
Wow.
And of course we shored the floor up because it was not exactly level when we started, but it seems to be pretty reasonable now.
So has it been used like steadily then since it came back to the community? Has it been used like for various functions?
Yes, all kinds. Well, we started off with card parties, but we've tried just about everything. One thing that is still going, although it's stopped since we're in the COVID era at the moment, we have speakers every Thursday night, and in here we've had that for probably 10-15 years.
That's tremendous.
We called it the very interesting people, or very interesting persons. and all different kinds of people. Have come and given a little lecture, and they may have pictures or movies or whatever else, and tell of the travels or something else.
That's fantastic.
And
what a great
we've
idea.
got a good bunch of people. One of them, I think, the most we ever had was the night that we did the Phantom Ship. This was a
Oh,
the-
yes.
we decided to do a whole sort of evening on the Phantom Ship, and got a few people. One had written a book about it, and there were all kinds of people who had actually seen this Phantom Ship.
This is right
So-
off here.
Yes,
this
well,
Phantom Ship.
actually you can see it from at Pictou, or almost up, I don't know how far up the strait here, and you can even see it at PEI occasionally. And
Wow.
so, but yes, this Phantom Ship, we ended up being, I think we had about 75 people in here, and they were almost hanging from the rafters, so that was the most we ever got in.
Wow.
We usually get around 20, maybe 30, depending on who it is. But
That sounds like
it's nice.
such a
and
cool
then the
evening.
regulars keep on coming back. Yeah, good. And we have all kinds of fundraising things. We have a lobster takeout meal in June, and that's very popular. That's maybe their biggest earner. Even this year, though, we're not meant to be open at all, and we haven't really done anything this year. But this year we decided, well, do you think we can do a takeout?
Yeah.
And so we decided to have, somebody suggested beans and fish cakes, which sounded to me like a weird and wonderful kind of a meal, but nevertheless, we had one in the middle of August, I think it was, and it was very successful. So we had another one in the middle of September.
Perfect.
So,
Isn't that good?
so we still have a little bit of money in the kitty to keep us going till hopefully next year when we can start up again.
That's great. That's wonderful. Well, this has been amazing. I think we've got all the information we need. Thank you so much, Bill. This has been fantastic. Really appreciate
You're
it.
very, very welcome. One of the things that we're trying to do here, and we always have, it's one of the prime motives for having a community centre, is to bring the community back, get all the people in the community to come and become one again.
Yes.
There are so many new people, and so often they don't bother to sort of mingle with all the locals at the moment, there's many people here, but there's only a certain number that actually use the community centre, and that's basically what my project is here. So I think you are kind of doing the same thing.
I'm
to tell you the
excited
truth.
about it too.
And so I'm very, very pleased to have been able to let you have a little bit of a look around.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
We appreciate it.